Hello, 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 and welcome back, you cosmic baddie. And I am so glad you are here. And if you are new here, welcome. Hello. I'm so glad you stumbled upon this podcast. My name is Katherine, and I am the podcast host of Chakras and Cuss Words podcast, where we talk about everything. We definitely talk about the areas of spirituality, the cosmos, and the energy of the chakras. We get into some deep chaos every once in a while. But yeah, so I consider myself an alchemist. I'm very much centered on energy, the energy of the collective, the energy of the individual, and the way it all kind of corresponds with this beautiful thing that we call life. I'm glad you guys are here. Today, we are going to talk about and get into the area of creating a summer spell for the soul, the new moon in Cancer. I'm just like blown away that we're already here. We're already in Cancer season. It's officially summer. We just had summer solstice. Everything is feeling mystical and magical with that summer energy, that summer heat, that growth period. We planted our seeds in the spring. We harvest our fruits in the fall. And now we are here. Now we are here in summer. Enjoying, hopefully for most people on the Northern Hemisphere, you are enjoying this energy. I am definitely an alchemist. I live for all the seasons. I love all the elements. There are some seasons that I do enjoy just a little bit more. I do enjoy the summer. The summer is, to me, bitch, it's where it's at. For me, the summer, I'm outside. I'm doing the things. I'm enjoying it. I love it. I'm a summer lover girl. Yes. You winter baddies, I don't get it. I do not understand it. But you do you, boo. And let's get into this new energy. So we have a new moon in Cancer, and it is on June 25th of 2025. And it is at 6:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it is at 4 degrees of Cancer. Under this mystical light of the Cancer new moon, we will slip into the sacred waters of our intuition. The Cancer is very intuitive. It's a nostalgic type of energy. It kind of reminds me very similar to that Juno energy, but it's its own. It's an emotional reward. This moon stirs it up, baby. It stirs it up. It really stirs that cauldron or fire pit that you got going on at the house. And it's all about heart, warmth, caring, and some areas of healing. It's inviting us to cast spells around protection and also soul nourishment, and a lot of energy around emotional rebirth. So this Cancer moon is very celestial, right? The Cancer is ruled by the moon, so it just fits so perfectly. It whispers to us about our inner sanctuaries and our seduction. So I'm going to tell you that you are a sanctuary, okay? That watery ocean tide area that you have, that little kitty cat, that little juicy juice box girl, that little sanctuary you could call your yoni, your cookie, your coochie, whatever you want to call it. It is a sanctuary. It is a portal. It is a creation of the feminine, of the divine feminine. And that's why you got to be a little bit careful to not just let anybody and everybody up in that sanctuary, okay? So it has a lot of areas around tenderness and areas of magic and creating memories. And this moon is tied into the feminine, the divine feminine at that, the temple, the area of your sacred being. It is a divine moment to set intentions that center around not just you, but your emotional body. That emotional body, that portal, that area to create safe spaces, and that area to create new intentions depending on your own spiritual roots. It's very centered around that sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra is a water element, just like that energy of the Cancer. Watering and honoring your needs of softness, support, and seduction. Whether you're tending to be literally at home and being centered around self-care, or being at home and being centered around the area of the heart and expressing yourself with some new intentions around magic, especially around divine and intimacy magic, this lunation of this new moon cycle, ending the old cycle and rebirthing a new cycle, calls for you to cradle that energy of comfort and that energy of seduction, okay? So if you are looking for a nice night to seal the deal on some beautiful soul you would like to create a connection with, even though the moon is not fully illuminated, this is a good energy to sit with and create some intentions around. So we are definitely centered around the magic of the moon, and the magic of the moon is the feminine, babe. It is so fucking feminine. It just radiates that pussy power. And as the summer heats up, it radiates through the cosmos, and it radiates through the lunation that dances. Right now, we have some major movement with this moon. So as I'm looking at the energy of this new moon, girl, look. I mean, if you were talking about creating some areas around intentions around the feminine, this is one new moon you should definitely do it with. Because not only do we have this new moon in Cancer, but we have Jupiter in Cancer. And Jupiter in Cancer is bold. It's fucking fierce in its own passionate, sacral, and yoni-powered way. It's definitely intriguing. It's fucking mystical. Like, it is mystical. And I'm kind of wondering what's going to be going on with the US with this new moon, because as many of you guys know, the US is a Cancer and has a lot of placements in Cancer. I did a podcast on that. If you want to get into some political astrology and listen to that, I definitely highlight checking out Jupiter in Cancer that I released, that podcast, but also the podcast on the ice raids and everything that happened when Jupiter went into Cancer. So let's look at this energy as a personal preference, right? So we have Jupiter with Cancer, but we also have that element of Mars. Mars is all tangled into this moon. And I'm literally going to bring up the calendar right now. I call it a calendar. I'm going to say the date of the moon, the date. And what's so interesting about this is we have that energy of the Cancer, and we also have that energy of Mars. And this phase of Mars being so harmoniously aligned with this moon just speaks volume, because we have Mars getting centered quite nicely, quite so fucking nicely at 0 4 degrees as well, okay, in the sign of Virgo. So it is a very domesticated type energy. The Virgo is a feminine energy as well. And this area is creating a dual alignment with the two energies of Mars, of feeling passionate and spontaneous, and then also with Jupiter, making everything so grand. We also have a Queen connects to Pluto and a full-on square to Saturn Neptune alignment. And this Saturn and Neptune alignment is in Aries. So it definitely speaks the energy of independence, and also areas where you will address certain obstacles and blocks. But it feels aligned in the energy of movement towards the feminine, and also towards creating energies as the summer heat radiates through the cosmos. There's offerings of a fertile energy for the bold who have their boundaries quite nicely completed, I would say. There's definitely some brave beginnings. If you are feeling like you want to get into some fertility magic, I would recommend doing this on this new moon. It's also a perfect time for intentions and setting rituals. So if you are centered around that, you're going to want to light your candles and really drizzle yourself with all of the seductive oils. I personally like a dark vanilla fragranced oil, or something a little bit more seductive, like even like a coconut oil. I would do like coconut oil base with this moon too. If you want to work some moon oil into your magic, you can do that. There's also the Jezebel oil. You can look up how to make a Jezebel oil if you're feeling a little bit super sultry and super centered around getting intertwined with that darker feminine energy. Look up some Jezebel oil to bring into this mystical moon darkness, as the moon won't be fully illumined in illumination. The goals are depending on what it is that you are setting your intentions to, but you're really going to want to think your spells through. And you're going to want to think these spells through with emotional security. Or you can be centered around intentional bases that are centered around the feminine of ancestral connections. So if you aren't planning on doing any sex magic and you're not planning on getting super seductive and you want to keep it a little bit more PG, no, not PG&E, PG. Fuck, I said PG&E. PG. If you want to keep it a little fucking PG, and you want to get it centered around some ancestral connections, maybe finding a deity that centers around that sacral divine feminine, or getting intertwined with the ancestors, you're going to want to look at that root base and also that emotional security versus the actual sacral chakra. You're also going to want to feel comfortable in wherever you are creating this magic. So this is something that I really want to talk about, is when we are creating magic centered around seduction or centered around the feminine, we want to have an area of safety. For many years, women have felt unsafe in the energy of their powers, unsafe in their energy of their intentions, unsafe in energy. It could be of the areas of where society has put this fear upon us. So you want to make sure that you are feeling safe and rooted. So preferably, if you are doing something that is centered around magic, I would prefer you did it in your home. But for whatever reason, maybe the home is not the best option. So you're going to want to do it in a park where it feels more engaging, that you are trusting that energy of feeling safe. Or maybe you're living a little bit on the wilder side and you want to take it to the ocean. You want to take it to the beach. Don't turn your back on the ocean. Make sure you're far, far up where the tide can't get you, bitch. But definitely have some fun over there, you know, outside. Some sand always brings out the best summer witches and summer intentions. So this new moon is especially quite ripe, right? But beware of this energy, because Pluto's shadow kind of is creating some area of darkness, as some might say, and fog and doubt, especially with that Saturn and Neptune alignment in Aries. So you're going to want to make sure that when you are doing this, you feel safe. You also feel very productive. And so when we are talking about magic and we are talking about the energy of alchemy, I've seen some witches say that, or alchemists say, that they don't use their own DNA because they are scared that they could accidentally curse themselves. Okay. So I am a practitioner who does use my own DNA. In some things I have used my own. And I would say if you are somebody who is scared of this, you should not use your own DNA. You should not use your own genetic makeup. You should not use your own blood. You should not use your own urine. You should not use your own bodily fluids, okay? If you are very nervous about this, do not do it. But if you are somebody who feels very comfortable and you feel like I ain't cursing myself, bitch, or you feel very centered at where you are as a practitioner, you do you, girl. You do you, and you do what you gotta do. So definitely there is a little bit of dark energy around this new moon. So this would be a new moon where you would definitely want to trust your intuition. I wouldn't necessarily call this the best new moon to do any type of judgment or justice. You know, if you are judging somebody and you think somebody's judging you and you want to put a little, you know, a little work around dominance. I mean, you could use that feminine dominance, that dark feminine energy to do that, but I wouldn't necessarily do it for any justice magic. But you trust your intuition. Definitely, we're going to look at how safe you feel before you get fully centered around whatever spell you are planning on creating. I do share some of my spell work or some of my ritual based work that I would do, but I don't share too much because I feel as an alchemist, everybody should be creating their own. Okay. So we're going to release a lot of old fears that may arise with this moon. So if you are somebody who needs to release these old fears, I would prefer you do it in large bodies of water, because water is centered around the sacral chakra and also centered around the Cancer, especially around clearing and independence or feeling seen and heard. So you're really going to want to trust your intuition. If you are going to do some water magic, you're going to let that water cleanse you and cleanse away what no longer serves you at all. But this moon does have some energies tied into Pluto, so it definitely have a little bit of a shadow, and it also has a little bit of energy of transformation. It is a new moon, bitch, so it isn't a full moon, okay? It's different. So you're definitely going to use that energy wisely. This new moon is especially powerful for those with personal planets. It is a new moon, which it's a baby, you know, it's only been 4 degrees. Fuck, it's like a toddler and shit. You got to be careful with it, right? You got to be careful with these intentions. You got to feel safe with these intentions. You got to be careful who you practice your sex magic with, okay? You don't want to practice sex magic with somebody who might be a stalker, because this energy would definitely come out with this new moon. So it's at 0 to 8 degrees would be the people who definitely had the most alignment, especially in Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, or Libra. So the Cancer, the crab, you have to remind yourself the crab is hard on the outside, but it's very soft on the inside. And that vulnerability is a strength, even when sometimes there is some emotional turmoil that might come with it, right? That outer layer is the armor. And that vulnerability that's inside of us, that vulnerability of softness and emotional protection, sometimes is hard, right? It's sometimes hard to face it. But there's definitely rituals that we could do to clear energy, to allow the vulnerability to come out, to allow the emotional protection. So there's some ritual ideas I will give you. So one of the ones that I like would definitely be moon water. Like moon water, if you can create your own moon water, or if you have moon water from a full moon, you can use that. You can also put some moon water like in seashells, and you can say your intentions to the moon water. You can also write your deepest needs into a spell jar. I have a area in my bathroom that is devoted to the energy of the siren and the mermaid. And I also have a lot of seashells. So this would be like the perfect moon for me to create intentions around clearing, or also clarity, or also getting tied into my siren energy. You also would like to write some of your deepest thoughts, your deepest intentions into a spell jar. You could do like a honey jar. You could also do a seashell jar if you're centered around the siren energy. Create a cozy altar honoring the sirens, honoring your past ancestors. The bathtub would be a beautiful altar if you are choosing the bathtub as your working place, right? You're going to want to create a ritual bath. You can put some milk in your bath. You can put some rosemary in your bath. You can put some rose petals, some summer fragrances, lemon, citrus, vanilla, lavender. I would definitely cleanse the home for this new moon. This new moon, I feel like the home is the sacred place, but for whatever reason, if the home is not the sacred place for you, you definitely want to cleanse yourself, cleanse your own area. You could do smoke. You can use smoke such as a bundle of rosemary, mugwort smoke, sage, lavender. You can burn just about anything if it's dry enough. You have to make sure it's dry. Or you can also use a incense. One that I would definitely look for lavender. I would also look for something that had some protection around it as well. So there's all kinds of energy that you can use for this new moon. This new moon, since it is around summer solstice, you definitely want to be working with colors that are tied into the sacral chakra and also tied into the energy of the soft moon, also the energy of the sun, soft glowing colors, warm colors like yellows, oranges, reds. There's definitely a soulful, fun element about the ultimate summer new moon. It definitely brings like this fun, adventurous type theme. Like, what are we going to do in the summer, right? It's kind of like, for the summer, you want to be outside, you want to be enjoying friends, you want to be enjoying family, you just want to be enjoying all the things. So I decided, let's get into what each zodiac should do for the summer, where you should be focused for each zodiac. So for the Aries, this summer is about you blazing your own trail, getting centered around independence, responsibility, and adventure. Plan like a spontaneous solo road trip or a day hike. Maybe start like a bonfire or a ritual fire under the stars or under the new moon. Try something that has some like physical activity, such as surfing, kickboxing, fire dancing, dancing outside, wearing bold colors. Like the Aries, I definitely feel like your summer colors would be like an orange, like dark oranges, or like vibrant colors like red. Get centered around these energies of warmth. And also you can use candles, like get centered around the energy of passion, like a red candle for courage, and intentions to be centered around the passion that you are feeling as the Aries. For the Taurus, it's time to indulge in earthy pleasures. The theme for the Taurus is definitely like sensuality, slow living, earthy elements. I could definitely see a Taurus doing a picnic, having homemade treats, drinking some rosé, really experiencing the creativeness that the Taurus loves, getting centered around like a garden altar, maybe bringing all those warm, beautiful colors of summer through in areas of your garden or areas of flowers. Plant herbs for grounding. That reminds me, I have some seeds I need to plant. Spend afternoons in nature, barefoot, definitely soaking up the sun, and embrace like ritual baths. A ritual bath for a Taurus feels so beautiful for this new moon, like rose petals, salt, soft music, all of those lovely things. For the Gemini, this is definitely the summer of fun, socialization, connection, and communication. Your curiosity is probably going wild on all the things you could do. The theme for the Gemini is definitely connection. Create a summer journal or start a summer blog of your travels, maybe a summer diary. Host a themed tarot party. That would be so much fun. To have a tarot party with friends, or like a trivia night if you're not really into tarot, but maybe like a trivia night with your friends, Scrabble, or what's the other one? Charades. Getting involved with your friends, explore local markets, definitely explore local bookstores, go to some museums or go to places that you wouldn't traditionally go to. Make a summer playlist for each phase of the moon. So what's so interesting is like I've been seeing a lot of people have like witchy playlists or playlists that are centered around the seasons. I need to work on my summer playlist as well. Also for the Cancer, I definitely feel like the Cancer is such a luxurious zodiac, such a luxurious, witchy, watery, passionate sacral chakra entwined zodiac. So for the Cancer, you're definitely going to be centered around intuition, nourishment, feeling that energy of embracing. So I would be around like friends. I would also be around family, definitely the feminine of the family. Retreat to like a beach, a lake, a bath. You want to do some like moonlights. Could you imagine like having a girls' night where you guys go like to a lake or to a beach and just have like maybe some wine, maybe some meditations outside, just enjoying the elements, just enjoying that water energy. Maybe it's a good time for the Cancer to look at finding a new recipe, hosting candlelight dinners, getting very intrigued into that soft feminine era that the Cancer really brings. And then if you want to get divine and dark with the dark feminine, definitely do that as well. Make moon water, charge your crystals. I will say I am guilty of not charging my crystals as often as I should. A lot of times my crystals are either with plants, but you want to cleanse your space, and you're going to want to create an altar or a vision board using your summer inspirations. For the Leo is definitely the main character and everything. I was just listening to a story that my friend told me, and I was like, wait. When she told me the story of this young lady, I was like, wait a minute, what's her sign? And she's like, she's a Leo. And I was like, exactly. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. She's like, bitch, there's only one main character up in here, and that's gonna be me, bitch. So the Leo is definitely a radiant energy. It's centered around self-expression, confidence, the areas of moving with confidence, understanding the Leo's archetype. I could feel like if you are a Leo and you don't understand your archetype, you don't understand that you attract effortlessly, you might have some obstacles. So this is a time that you're going to organize yourself, girl. You're going to organize, get centered around making a photo shoot, glamming up. I always feel like Leos have this little glam element that happens so effortlessly. You could throw a themed rooftop party. I definitely see the Leo working with their hair in the summer, making sure their hair is quite nice. A bonfire would also be a good ritual summer event for the Leo. Wearing gold, like a Leo in the summer is some gold, honey, or some yellow like that. That pale yellow is supposed to really be in season for the summer. That fashion kind of themed pale yellow, I would definitely get centered around that. White and gold, I love white and gold. So unapologetically, it's like fucking phenomenal. It's just amazing. It's a beautiful combo. Like white and gold just screams fucking confidence to me. Definitely the white and gold. You're going to want to channel that fire magic, that glamour magic, initiate the power and the personal power within. For the Virgo, sacred space, definitely we're going to be centered around our sacred routines and wellness and understanding like the energy of the earth, centered around wellness and purpose. Creating a summer and morning ritual for the Virgo, I feel like is ideal this summer. So getting centered around herbs, journaling, movement, stretching in the morning. Cleanse your space with lavender. I love when like Virgos have like tons of flowers around their house. It just feels so beautiful for them because they are such like a earth element. The Virgos are so like this domesticated little fucking whore that I love. And they have like this citrusy like presence about them where it's like, you take a bite of the orange and the orange is like a little bitter, but it's like sweet at the same time. And you're like, yes. And that reminds me of like a Virgo, very like centered around that duality. And I just read the birth chart of Huda from Love Island. I will tell you, my son was like, did you watch Love Island? I was like, no, I didn't. But I did read the birth chart of that girl, Huda, and she is like a Virgo. And I know she's like the ultimate crash out, everybody's saying. So it's on the YouTube channel if you want to check that out. But definitely it has that duality to it. So you're going to want to get centered with that duality of the domestication and also the dark feminine. Also for the Virgo during the summer, you're going to want to teach. Virgos make perfect teachers, like teachers, volunteers, health workers. Be centered around your passions, around wellness. I also see like a Virgo needing to go outside and ground every day. Like if you're a Virgo and you're not going outside, I'm like, what the fuck? You need to be outside enjoying the meditation of the elements of the earth, being outside, putting your feet in grass, even your fucking feet on concrete. Like in all honesty, like if you, I know there's a lot of people who are like, I don't have, some people do not have backyards and they don't have grass or they don't have front yards. A lot of people live in like condos or apartments. If you do, just get a fucking plant. Just get like a plant for your patio, a plant. Just go outside in front of your door, taking that energy. Like there's no reason why a Virgo should be stuck in the house. Also, Virgo, if you are Virgo that is stuck in the house, you just cannot go outside for whatever fucking reason, I don't know. You're going to want to craft like some type of ritual planner. Get a little bit more organized. Maybe a spell book. Track your moon cycles, track your menstrual cycles, track your area of your divine. I definitely can see the Virgo doing that. I could also see a Virgo going to like a carnival, going to a state fair this this summer, enjoying the summer spaces. For the Libra, beauty and balance is definitely the theme and beach days for the Libra. That aesthetic of bliss, that connection, redecorating your space with summer colors, fresh flowers, plan of dreamy getaways with your partner or your tribe, right? With your girls, with your collectives, a day of wine tasting, a day of movement and energy around that. Definitely get outside, go swimming, and enjoy all the things. For the Scorpio, it's definitely a time you're going to want to play with that shadow, but also that summer heat. So you're going to be wanting to be centered around your sensual power. I definitely can see a Scorpio doing some skinny dipping, some late night stargazing, maybe naked. Maybe a naked ritual dance outside. You could do some candle spells, some rituals to release emotional baggage. Journal your deepest desires and fears under this new moon. Embrace your sensual rituals such as oil, silk, and spell-binding music. Music is a spell, so I know so many of us always concentrate on like music. Oh my gosh, music is a spell, so you have to be careful about some of the music that you listen to too much of. Low vibrational music that is talking about drinking, smoking, doing drugs all day. You might be drinking, smoking, and doing drugs all day. So be mindful. Yes, we all love our shit. I love me some fucking trap music. Put on, and I'm gonna move them hips and twerk them hips. But sometimes you gotta like take it down a notch and be like, okay, I need to soothe the soul, right? Soothe the soul. So be careful sometimes because that music is a spell. Sagittarius, dive wild and dive deep with this moon. I feel like a lot of expansion with the Sagittarius. So this is also a good time to like have a last minute trip. I can see Sagittarius planning their travels for this new moon. Also host a bonfire, being centered around philosophy night or like some type of deep conspiracy night. Ooh, a deep conspiracy night. Ooh, that sounds fun. You bring all your best conspiracies. I bring the bottle of wine, and let's see if these conspiracies are really true. Oracle card circles, tarot circles. You could start a quest on places of where you want to travel for your next few years, right? Even for the Sagittarius, this would be a good time to dive deep into a series, like a TV series, enjoy the popcorn. Sometimes a Sagittarius doesn't need to go everywhere. Like they feel like a lot of people feel like a Sagittarius just needs to like get out, do everything. But sometimes Sagittariuses are a little bit of homebodies. And sometimes you need to dive into like a new book series, a new TV series, a new course, something like that to kind of keep the mind centered. So create your own summer bucket list. For a Sagittarius, the bucket list will look different compared to everybody else's because the Sagittarius does definitely have that Jupiter energy that is pushing them out of their comfort zone, and as Jupiter is with Cancer, especially around the feminine. For the Capricorn, it is a time to rebuild and rise up, honey. Definitely see that structure and recharge coming through. If you are a Capricorn that needs to take some new intentions around retreating, go ahead and do that. Maybe plan like a spa day, something like a massage, something around building an altar, around goals for the summer, affirmations. I don't use, because I don't use like seagulls. I don't use like sigils or whatever. I don't use like a lot of Wiccan or paganistic beliefs. I'm an alchemist, so I work off of energy. But for some people, they like to get more centered around certain old traditional witchcraft. And for a Capricorn, this would be a good moon to do that with. So if that's learning about karmic cycles, learning about energy of investing on certain spells or certain passions, go ahead and do that. You're going to invest your time that feeds your soul, right? Also, I would like to see a Capricorn doing a lot of grounding in nature and taking some maybe meditative walks or riding a bike, or if you don't ride a bike, hike, something like that. Getting out there for this summer. For the Aquarius, you're definitely the rebel. Fuck. Aquarius is such the rebel. Like, you could just not do anything traditional, can you? But anyways, for the Aquarius, you're very innovative and you're unconventional and you're fun. So definitely be around starting communities, rituals, art projects, or even an online coven. Ooh, online coven. Let me know if you would like to be part of my online coven and I will send you the link. Trying water, getting centered around lunar, tech, magic. Yes, there's a lot of magic in tech. I know. Technology actually has a lot of magic. AI, oh, honey, don't get me started on AI, okay? Yes, it's a theme. You're definitely going to host maybe some kind of themed party. Like, I would love to see an Aquarius, like, have a hosting of a party, like a witchy summer party, or like a party around like the 70s, or like a party around your favorite villain in the summer. Like, we have to remember, we don't always have to dress up for Halloween. We can dress up any fucking time we want. Creating that era, right? Creating that playlist of your visions, creating that playlist of summer music, and also creating a vision board for an Aquarius for this new moon energy would be quite delightful. For the Pisces, we're going to be centered around creativity, spiritual connections, and spending time near the water. Definitely by the water, like pool, beach, lake, river, all the things, shower magic, ritual magic, plant, dance, all that. Write your dreams into summer elements. Write your dreams into areas of inspiration for the summer. Dancing outside. I was just like thinking about this. I was like, I haven't gone dancing in so long. I really want to go dancing this summer, like outside dancing. I do. Sometimes dancing in your backyard, like the crazy witch you are, can be a little boring and you actually want to go outside dancing. But I feel like, I don't know if it's just because I'm older or just like my community. We do have like little dance parties. We do have block parties and people do go out there and dance. And I will tell you, bitch, I'm the first fucking, and if you're offended that I say bitch a lot, I'm saying it in a word that I love you. I go out there a lot and I'm shaking my tail feather, honey. I'm dancing. I'm like, woo, woo. So I definitely need to go dancing this summer. I'm like, yes, I got to find an event. So also some astral work, like intuitive drawing, intuitive painting, guided meditation, dream work. I could definitely see the Pisces doing a lot of dream work. Also use flower fragrances. Oh my gosh, flower fragrances, lavender oil, rose oil, daisy oil, seashells, all that should be in the Pisces summer. So let me go over just some themes to do for the summer for everybody. And this isn't really as witchy, but we can always make it witchy, right? Everything we do when you're a witch, everything you do is a fucking spell. Everything you do is witchy. Everything you do is centered around cosmic energy. It's just the way it is. So things to do this summer, that this is like a summer bucket list for everybody, okay? So do what you like, do what you don't don't do what you don't like, I mean. So here's some ideas of things to do for the summer. And they don't cost a lot of money, okay? These are very affordable. Go swimming, pool, lake, river, ocean, wherever. Build sand castles, play beach volleyball, or play volleyball out at the park. Try out water sports, surfing, kayaking, paddle boat, or boogie boards. Go boating, attend an outdoor concert, or like I was saying, like a music festival or community event. Attend a workshop or classroom, go camping, take a hike. Take a day trip to explore. So one of the things that I want to do this summer is go, and I'm just going to say it out loud because I feel like if I say it out loud, maybe we get it done, is go to Yosemite. You know what's so embarrassing is I'm born and raised, honey. I'm born and raised in California, bitch. And I ain't been to Yosemite once. Isn't that embarrassing? It's so embarrassing. I've never been to Yosemite. Neither has my husband. No, that's how you know you a hood booger. You came from the metropolitan city. You a little hood booger. You've been doing some hood booger activities all your life, and nobody in your family ever thought to take you to Yosemite, or the biggest national park. Why? Why would they? Thanks, Mom and Dad. Yeah. Okay. Attend a workshop, go camping, take a hike, take a day trip to explore, go ride a bike or a tricycle. It's more my speed. Roller skating, attend a sports event. I definitely know we'll do that. Go to the movies, or better yet, an outside movies. So in my city, we do have outside movie events. Go bowling, play miniature golf, but definitely take time. So the things you want to like eat or cook, right, for the summer, this should be on everybody's summer list, is cook with seasonal ingredients. So for the summer, seasonal ingredients include berries, watermelon, peaches, tomatoes, corn, zucchini, summer squash, cucumbers, herbs, bell peppers, melons, and green beans. Definitely going to want to introduce more salads to the dinners, okay? So green salads, pasta salads, fruit salads, capris, grill vegetables. I love grilling vegetables. I think it's so good. Grill vegetables, smoked vegetables, barbecue vegetables. Get the vegetables in there. Get the vegetables in the plate. Barbecue, it's a perfect time to barbecue. And if you want to reduce your sugar intake from the barbecue sauce, I highly recommend doing like a dry rub instead of an actual sugary barbecue sauce. And things to make: s'mores, okay, ice cream or sorbets, popsicles, smoothies. Fresh fruit is always the best. Strawberry shortcake. I grew up, my grandma would make strawberry shortcake, is such like a summer staple. Make lemon bars. Things to do in places to visit: local parks, amusement park, water park, trampoline park, splash pad, playground, farmer's market, a botanical garden, butterfly garden, beach, library, bookstore, museum, art history, zoo, aquarium, cafe, escape room. Be a tourist in your own city or neighborhood cities. Things to do at home: watch the sunrise and the sunset. You could get your ass up and watch the sunrise one time. Do it, friend. Watch the sunset. You see a beautiful sunset. Take time to look at it. Stargaze at night. I love stargazing at night. Have a barbecue, movie, a marathon, classic movies, summer themed movies. Honey, Jaws. Okay, a little scary. Dirty Dancing, Grease, Stand By Me. Your favorite summer movies, right? Weekend at Bernie's. Weekend at Bernie's. Like this generation does not know the good movies we watch. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Like, yes, honey, yes. What was that other one? Patrick Swayze. Oh, Roadhouse. I mean, my kids watch Roadhouse. I did. They're adult kids, okay? Some sex scenes in there. Read the books, because I know how you millennials and Gen Zs feel about, you know, sex scenes. You don't want to see too much sex. I get it, okay, but yeah, watch some summer movies, read some books, take some photos, take pictures. I can't believe you guys go on not taking pictures. Take some pictures, paint, color, draw, use some chalk. Okay, have a DIY spa day, garden, and if you got the kiddos, honey, you need to let them kiddos throw up a lemonade stand. And that's some things to do in the summer, so I don't want to hear none of y'all had a crappy summer, okay? We're getting these new moon intentions ready for Cancer season. I want to thank everybody for listening. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and share this with your witchy bestie. Let me know what you're planning on doing for these summer months in the comments. Have a great day. Bye.